Republican Senator John Barrasso of Wyoming. He's a member of the Foreign Relations Committee. Senator, thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks, Wolf.
It's pretty extraordinary. Is it not just Ron, I don't know if you know Ron Bonjean. He's been around for a long time, highly respected conservative Republican spokesman. The White House asked him to help work with Gorsuch to get him confirmed through the Senate. Kelly Ayotte, you know her, a former Republican senator from New Hampshire. She lost, but she's the Sherpa or the coordinator helping him get confirmed. Both of them, they are both credible, said that Gorsuch did describe the president's words as disheartening and demoralizing. And the president is denying that. How do you explain that?
Well, it says to me that everybody ought to vote for Neil Gorsuch for the Supreme Court because it shows how independent he is. Not only is he highly qualified and mainstream, he's independent. I briefly visited with him this morning as he was heading down to Susan Collins' office. I think he's going to be a terrific member of the Supreme Court. I support him all the way.
But why does the president, go against Kelly Ayotte's word? Forget about Blumenthal. He's a Democratic senator, and he's attacking Blumenthal. And he goes after Ron Bonjean, who's the spokesman. As I said, you and I have known him for many years. He's very, very credible.
He gained a lot more credibility when he married a woman from Wyoming, my home state. That's a big thing.
But why does the president do that?
I don't speak for the president, but I will speak for myself. I am so delighted that Neil Gorsuch has been nominated for the Supreme Court. He's a guy that understands that the Constitution is where we need to be, and that he's somebody that's going to apply the law, not try to rewrite or recreate the law. So I'm with him all the way.
But do you think the president was out of the loop on that? Because it looks like a lot of other White House officials were in the loop when they said, you know what, he did say that. And it wasn't just that he said it. Judge Gorsuch told Senator Blumenthal on his initiative, by the way, you can say what I said about the president's comments, disheartening and all that. You can make that public. I don't have a problem with that. And Blumenthal, as a result, after the initiative came from the judge, he decided to do it.
Yeah, I can't speak for the president, but what I can say is this, I think, increases the credibility of Neil Gorsuch and the reason that he ought to be on the Supreme Court.
And I think a lot of Democrats are saying exactly what you're saying. And so maybe there was some sort of maneuver, a deliberate maneuver, to get him to say, he apparently said very similar things to Senator Ben Sasse, who's a Republican, a colleague of yours, and Senator Schumer as well, the Democratic leader, the minority leader in the Senate. What's also intriguing is the president went one step further. He didn't just, criticize what Blumenthal said. He then went after Blumenthal in this tweet, reminding us that back in 2010, Blumenthal apologized for having lied about what he said was his service in Vietnam. He did serve in the U.S. Marine Corps Reserves for 6 years, but he never served in Vietnam. He apologized for that. And he went on to get elected as the U.S. Senator from Connecticut. But the president, is basically calling him a liar. Don't believe him. Is that appropriate?
Well, I think it's appropriate that the president right now is meeting with bipartisan group of senators. And again, I don't speak for the president. I think we have an incredibly credible nominee to be a member of the Supreme Court. That's where I'm focused.
All right. The other issue I want to get to is the attack by and I know this is awkward for you because you don't speak for the president, but the attack by the president on Senator John McCain, your Republican colleague, the chairman of the Senate Armed Services Committee. This is what the president tweeted this morning. Senator McCain should not be talking about the success or failure of a mission to the media. Only emboldens the enemy. He has been losing so long, he doesn't know how to win anymore. Just look at the mess our country is in. Bogged down in conflict all over the place. Our hero, Ryan, died on a winning mission, according to General Mattis, not a failure. Time for the U.S. to get smart and start winning again. Is that appropriate for the president to be attacking Senator McCain? He was a war hero. He did serve in Vietnam. He was a POW for 6 years. He was tortured by the Viet Cong. He did not reveal information. He could have left Vietnam because his father was a highly respected admiral. They said, you could. He said, no, I'm not leaving unless my fellow troops are leaving as well. And now for the president to be saying that about him, is that appropriate?
I have nothing but the utmost respect for John McCain. I mean, he is a man of courage, of character, and of credibility. I've traveled the world with him. No matter where I am with him, we've been in Iraq together, Afghanistan, Ukraine, no matter where I am, people come up, thank him for his service, thank him for his heroism. People around the world know about the work of John McCain and continue to look to him for leadership, specifically on issues about military and national security.
He's highly respected in the military area, and he's well liked by his fellow Republican and Democratic colleagues because he's not afraid to speak out. And the other point that a lot of observers are making, he served in the U.S. military. He was in the Navy. He was captured in Vietnam, spent 6 horrible years as a POW. Say what you will about Senator Blumenthal. He did spend 6 years in the U.S. Marine Corps, the reserves, serving here in the United States. And what they're pointing out, the president, he got draft deferments. He never served in the U.S. military. And what they're saying, Mr. President, you should be a little bit more sensitive going after military vets like Senator Blumenthal, Senator McCain, since you didn't serve yourself in the military. You've heard that argument. I just want you to respond.
Well, my dad was in World War II, the Battle of the Bulge. My wife Bobby's dad, World War II, and the Korean War as well. I have nothing but the most respect for anybody that ever wears the uniform, bears the battle. I have no criticism.
Okay. Well, Senator, there's a lot more we could discuss. Yes. It's a busy news day, but I'm grateful to you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Senator John Barrasso, Republican of Wyoming.